Alright, well, we are just gonna be watching some videos. I thought someone was gonna recommend me one, but I can find some historical documentary videos up my own ass and titties. I'm a grown man. I'm a groaning. So let's see whose content we could steal. Ah, yes, all the good Minecraft shits. Let's see. Oh, is a history channel. Medieval. You know what? Easy. Medieval warfare. Who needs to think? 3 hours? Jesus. Medieval, 100 years. Castle, First Crusade. Ooh, First Crusade sounds cool. And Kings and Generals, they make good content. I remember them. Ottoman War, 1812, Pacific War, Cold War, Roman. Ooh. Armies and tactics, ancient battles. Caesar and Gaul. Ooh, that would be cool. Maybe start off with something little. Something tiny whiny. Battle of Yarnock. That's really small. I want something middle of the road. Something I can take a bite out of, but not. Well, 12 business days late. Last great Roman general. Okay. Okay. I think I can screw with it. Ah, damn. All parts. That's cowabunga fucking up, bro.
532 AD.
I should have got some popcorn if I knew it was going to be this long.
Constantinople, the
the
greatest city in the world, is in flames. But this is no barbarian attack. Citizens of the Eastern Roman Empire are rioting, murdering state officials and setting buildings on fire. Trapped inside his own palace, Emperor Justinian fears his reign is over. He's already given in to the mob's demands and sacked his most hated officials. But now, the crowds acclaim a new emperor, Hypatius. It's his wife, Empress Theodora, who'll give him the courage to act. And his most trusted general, Belisarius, to whom he'll turn to crush his enemies and save the regime.
Always gotta have the wife on hand to save your ass, you know?
After centuries of imperial crisis, Justinian's reign will witness a Roman fightback that few had dreamed possible. Great victories over the barbarians, the reconquest of Rome itself, the reunification of the empire. Belisarius is the commander who will lead this onslaught. He will be remembered as Rome's last great general. (527 AD). It's more than 50 years since the fall of the Western Roman Empire. Rome itself, the Eternal City, is now part of an Ostrogothic kingdom of Italy. But though Rome may have fallen,
was the last Roman?
The empire,
was he the last Roman because just the Rome has fallen, or was it any other specific reason? Because he reconquered Rome and had some of those generals. Oh, pretty
endures.
neat. Fuck yeah, bro.
The Eastern Roman Empire remains a force to be reckoned with. An estimated 30 million people live under the rule of the emperor in Constantinople. His authority stretches from the ravaged Balkans to the imperial breadbasket, Egypt, the Arabian desert to the mountains of Armenia. This Christian empire remains unrivaled in administrative sophistication, economic power, and military might. But the new emperor, Justinian, faces formidable challenges. In 527, he succeeds Justin, his uncle and adopted father, becoming the first son to succeed his father as emperor in more than a century. Justinian is from a tough peasant background in Illyricum, what's now North Macedonia.
Oh, shit.
He's highly educated, restless, and driven,
wait.
and sets his son to succeed his father as emperor in more than a century. Justinian is from a tough peasant background in Illyricum, what's now North Macedonia. He's highly educated.
So why was he from a peasant background? Did his father send him to live like as a peasant, or was there a separate reason for that? It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. They're like, oh, he's also highly educated. That's kind of contradictory. So he's either a peasant or he's educated. Which is it? He just said adopted. Oh, did I fucking miss
background in adopters? In 527.
And his adopted father. Okay, fuck. Okay, that's like a blink and you miss it in a second.
His uncle and adopted father, becoming the first son to succeed his father as emperor in more than a century. Justinian is from a tough peasant background in Illyricum, what's now North Macedonia. He's highly educated, restless, and driven, and sets himself two ambitious goals. First, to restore harmony in the Christian Church by ending the schism between Chalcedonian or Orthodox Christians and Miaphysites, who argue over Christ's human and divine nature. Second, to reform and ration
What do they mean? Do you understand what they mean, argue over Christ's human and divine nature? So are they saying Christ was either a god, or was he saying that he's a human who... Is it like something specific, or... Or are they just saying, hey, he's a god or not? Do you know? And if not, that's fine. Fair enough.
Divine nature. Second, to reform and rationalize Roman law, the divinely sanctioned institution that distinguishes the Roman world from the barbarian. The imperial majesty should not only be adorned with arms, but also be armed with laws, so that there may be good government in times both of war and
That's
peace.
very wise, because...
Elated.
Hold up, my nose. My apologies, Jesus. Yeah, good laws are not just for the, for everyone, right? Good laws protect the little people from the big people, right? It prevents the big people, the soldiers, the military generals from doing whatever they want. And it's very important that, hey, they are, as they said, in times of both peace and war, right? If you don't have these good, strong laws during war, the generals will do whatever the fuck they want. If you don't have it during peace, people will be taking advantage and utilizing the law to harm other people. So, yeah.
Declares. But as for any Roman emperor, the ultimate test of his legitimacy will come in war.
I don't know. I feel like I'm just
for now, Justinian has good relations with the Vandals in North Africa and the Ostrogoths in Italy. The Balkan frontier requires constant vigilance. The successors to Attila's Hun Empire are never quiet for long. But it's in the east that Justinian faces his most immediate challenge. The Persian Sassanid Empire, a rival superpower of the Middle East.
I've never heard of
this frontier has been a battleground for centuries and witnessed its share of Roman defeats, including one emperor captured, another killed. For most of the last century, the shared menace of the Huns led to a wary coexistence.
Wait, white Huns? So there's Avar, Burger, Slavs, Atlans, Avars, okay. White Huns, and so did they just go through, or did they invade all of that? And what are the white Huns?
But it could not last. In 525, the Christian king of Iberia in the Caucasus appealed to the Romans for aid when the Persian king Kavad tried to impose Zoroastrian rituals on his country. The Romans...
What are Zoroastrian... Oh, God, I'm asking so many questions because there's a lot of shit being thrown at me that I don't fucking know. What is a Zoroastrian ritual? Would you by chance know? It's a different religion that was practiced in ancient Persia. Okay. That's pretty cool. What a spelling, God. It's alright, bro. It's alright.
Tried to impose Zoroastrian rituals on his country.
The main rival to
the Romans send military aid. And the conflict
Islam. My apologies. Ignore my shitty pronunciation, bro.
Escalates, with both sides launching cross-border raids.
I'll forgive your spelling if you forgive my pronunciation.
When the Romans begin building a new fort at Minduos, the Persians attack, rout the Roman troops, and destroy the building works. One of the Roman generals to escape this debacle is Flavius Belisarius. Clearly.
Flavius Belisarius. I feel like I've heard that name before. Was he in one of the other videos we were watching or something? Or is he just famous for something else? Flavius Belisarius.
He is not blamed,
very
because the next year Justinian makes him commander of all Roman troops in the east.
Jesus,
though he's barely
all
30
the
years
Roman
old.
Troops in the east? Fuck, bro.
Belisarius and the Emperor are old comrades, and come from similar rural backgrounds in the Balkans. His wife, Antonina, is the best friend of Empress Theodora. And like her...
I'm not 30 yet, dude. You're more likely to be 30. I'm not even 26 yet, dude. I'm not even past that halfway mark, alright? I'm not even in that fucking upper half. You can't even round me up to 30. So hush up, bruvs.
From a low-born background, the daughter of an actress. With both Roman and...
Of an actress? Wait a minute. I thought, hold up. I thought most, at this time, there weren't actresses. There were only male actors who pretended to be women. Were there female actresses at this time? I thought maybe I was mistaken about that for theater, but... Or is that just in Greek? Is that different for the...
Persian empires mobilizing for war. The next year, 530, will see Belisarius' first major test as a commander. The troops that Belisarius commands are far removed from the famous legions with which Rome conquered its empire centuries ago. Hard lessons learned from fighting Huns and Persians have helped to forge a new Roman army. For centuries, cavalry was the neglected arm of the Roman military, a role usually outsourced to foreign auxiliaries. Now, heavy armored cavalry known as Clibanarii and Cataphracti, armed with lance and sword, form the army's elite shock units.
Clibanarii and Cataphracti.
Some armored cavalry, as well as cursores, light cavalry, also carry bows.
Oh, shit.
The Romans, in imitation of the Huns and Persians, are now horse archers themselves. The best units are the Bucellarii, the biscuit eaters, named after the army ration. These hand-picked soldiers form a general's personal regiment. Long service, good pay and equipment, plus a personal oath of loyalty make them his most reliable troops. Roman archers are now armed with the more powerful composite reflex bows of the Huns. And while infantry still made up around 2/3 of a Roman army, its role is more defensive, forming a secure base from which the cavalry could launch its attacks. The standard infantry unit is also smaller, called a numerus in Latin, arithmos in Greek, about regimental size, from 1,000 to 1,500 men. They're more mixed, with armoured veterans to form a fulcrum or shield wall, and more missile troops behind them to unleash a barrage of arrows, javelins and darts. Finally, Rome boosts its military strength by recruiting the very barbarians it had once despised, including Huns, Goths and Heruli. Those outside the empire are recruited as mercenaries. Those within serve as foederati, federates, and are usually commanded by their own officers. The military organization of the empire has also been overhauled. 2 central field armies stationed on either side of the Bosphorus are commanded by a Magister Militum Presentalis and form a strategic reserve.
Jesus, that was a fucking Magister Militum Presentalis. Jesus, that is a cool fucking name. Imagine walking into a bar. Guys, I am the Magister Militum Presentalis. I have a big cock. It's kind of what it feels like.
Field armies based in Thrace, Illyria, Armenia, and the East are each commanded by a Magister Militum and form regional rapid reaction forces. The frontiers are held by the Limitani. These are the lowest paid and least well-equipped troops, only expected to hold their fortified outposts until reinforcements arrive. Limitani are organized into local groups, each commanded by a dux, origin of our word, duke. Yet the thought has many times occurred to me, how many and how great are the benefits which accrue to states through history, which transmits to future generations the memory of those who have gone before, and resists the steady effort of time to bury events in oblivion. The historian Procopius is our key witness for the events of this period.
Honestly, thank God fucking people have decided to record history. Imagine, we would have very little idea of what the fuck would happen. There's no way spoken word of mouth would have existed for long enough for us to know about this. Dude, it makes me regret incidents like the fucking burning of the Library of Alexandria. There's several other incidents across human history where there's a great destruction of just culture, you know? But yeah, man, what an amazing thing language is, you know?
He was born around 500 in the city of Caesarea in Palestine and received a first-class education. In 527, he was appointed assessor, or legal advisor, to Belisarius. He effectively became the general's secretary, and on occasion, aide-de-camp. Working from notes and writing in Greek, he would publish his great work, History of the Wars, in 551. Procopius's account is highly favorable to Belisarius, but there will be a sting in the tale, a scandalous secret history, which will emerge later in the tale.
I'm trying to move something else other than that. Dunbar's. Everyone needs a lawyer, dude. Everyone at every point in history needs a fucking lawyer, dude. Don't ever goddamn doubt it for a goddamn second. God, that's not what I fucking want to move. You slut. This stupid, slutty Okay, fuck it.
King Kavad sends an army to capture the Roman frontier fortress at Dara. Today, the ruins of Dara lie on the Turkish-Syrian border.
Whoa.
Their scale
Dude, imagine digging right into the wall like that. That's gotta... I know it's sandstone, so it's softer, but still, like, fuck. Always feels like a lot of effort.
The size of the Roman fortress that once stood here.
Or fortress.
Belisarius is warned that 40,000 Persian troops are advancing on Dara. He can only assemble 25,000 troops to meet them.
Oh, that is a big number difference.
For reasons that are unclear, Belisarius decides to make his stand outside the city walls to the south.
Very
His men dig ditches to strengthen their position, with both flanks thrown forward. The infantry is placed in the center, with cavalry on both flanks. Two groups of 600 Hun mercenaries are positioned between them in support.
Oh fuck, dude! The Huns are 100% goddamn bait. Look at this shit. You put them outside the fucking trenches, in between your oh, the Huns are such oh, dude, the Huns are so fucked. Dude, if I was put here as the Huns, I would just turn around and just look the commanders dead in the eyes and tell them to go fuck their mothers. Oh, dude, you cannot be doing that shit. That is fucking insane. That is, like, I find that, I'm sorry. Am I the only one who thinks this is suicide? I can't be. Oh, that's just funny. I just find that hilarious. Alright, sorry, let me continue.
At the rear, he places his reserve.
And he places his best army behind everyone else. Oh, you selfish son of a bastard.
When the huge Persian army arrives before Dara, Belisarius is ready and waiting. The first day begins with a standoff. The two generals exchange letters. Belisarius urges Firuz to withdraw to allow time for further negotiations. Firuz tells the Roman to prepare his bath. He intends to be in Dara by nightfall.
Shit, he's playing out.
Persians launch one probing attack against the Roman left wing, perhaps testing their defenses. The Persians are driven off, with 7 killed.
Shit, only 7?
When a young Persian warrior rides between the lines and challenges any Roman to face him in single combat,
holy shit,
his offer is accepted by Andreas. Andreas has no military training, but he's a wrestling instructor of huge strength. Before the Persian knows what's happening, Andreas has knocked him off his horse with his lance, then dismounts to finish him off. Like a sacrificial animal, in the words of Procopius. Andreas later kills a second Persian challenger, to Roman cheers and the dismay of the Persians.
No military training needed, just a fucking big-ass goddamn dick.
The next morning, Firuz receives 10,000 reinforcements, bringing his total strength to 50,000.
Oh!
With odds of 2 to 1 in his favor,
Jesus, 50
he decides to
25?
attack.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Firuz forms up his army, with infantry and foot archers in the center, and his Persian heavy cavalry, the feared Savaran, on both wings. He also divides his army into 2 parts, a front line and a reserve line, so that fresh troops can be rotated into the fighting. He keeps a unit of Immortals, the elite Persian heavy cavalry, as his personal reserve.
Oh, hey guys, I'm called the Immortals. Oh, why are you immortal? We survive every battle. Oh, wow, that's really cool. How do you do that? Oh, yeah, we're in the reserve every time. That's why we're immortal, because we don't die. Because we don't actually enter combat right away. We just wait until we have an advantage. Yeah. This fucking... Dude, you do not actually. You cannot fucking make this shit up.
Reserve. But first, he waits. He knows the Romans usually eat in the morning and are growing hungry, while his own troops are accustomed to eating later in the day. Finally,
they don't eat breakfast.
He gives the order. The Persian army advances to within bowshot.
Oh, that's cool. Look at this. So they got the shields on their left arm, and they're smaller shields, so they don't get in the way of their bows, but they're fixed. Okay, that's kind of neat. I'm digging it. I'm digging it. Not a lot of fortifications, honestly. I know they're on the attack, but still.
And both armies unleash a storm of arrows. Persia is famed for the skill of its archers, but today the wind favors the Romans. When the archers run out of arrows, the Persian cavalry begins its advance. This is the moment Belisarius has prepared for. The Savaran crash into his left wing, driving the Roman horsemen back. But the Persians haven't spotted 300 Heruli horsemen hidden behind a slope on the Roman left.
It's the cavalry flank.
For this moment. They rush out from cover, and attack the Persian cavalry from behind.
Their own ditch
Then
doesn't get in the
600
way?
Huns
Oh, I'm surprised.
fall on their flank.
Wow, the Huns weren't just bait. I'm surprised, dude. I totally thought the Huns were here just to fucking die because they placed them in front of the ditch fortifications. But shit, this is just
Under this onslaught, the Persian cavalry
wow,
turns and
the Persians
flees
are getting fucking
with
out
heavy
maneuvered
losses.
very, very heavily, despite having
Toulouse
double
switches
the
to the other
goddamn.
flank, attacking with his heavy cavalry, supported by the elite immortals. The Roman cavalry breaks under the pressure, streaming back to the walls.
No,
of
makes
Dara.
sense. There's double the number. That's a lot of pressure.
But Belisarius has seen the threat. He recalls the Huns that are pursuing the Persian right wing and launches both Hun groups,
Wow,
as well as
man,
his own
the
Bukhari,
fucking hold up.
right wing, and launches.
Okay, I really were shitting on the Huns. The Huns, all of a sudden, are the fucking main player of this shit, dude. The Huns go, boom, they smash out the left side. They're like, oh, we kicked their ass? No, let's go kick the right side's
Both Hun
ass.
groups, as well as his own
They throw that
Bukhari,
1-2
against
3-4.
the flank and
The
rear
3-4 was hit
of the
for us
Persian
because they
attack.
bent him over and fucked him in the ass.
It's the decisive moment of the battle. The Persian left wing suddenly finds itself under attack from three sides. Those that can't escape are cut down.
Oh, that buffer.
Sunikas, one of the Hun captains, kills a Persian standard-bearer, then General Barsham himself, who commands the Persian left wing.
Damn.
With the elite units of the Persian army in flight, the infantry offers
They're
little
fucking kicking the
resistance.
Persians'
Most
asses.
are peasant conscripts, no match for
Yeah,
Roman
I mean, the peasants are
cavalry.
fucked here, obviously.
Soon the entire Persian army is en route.
Yeah, no, and the cavalry are going to rout them even
Belisarius,
farther.
content with
Oh,
his
that's where most
victory
people
and
die.
unwilling to
They're
risk
fucking
any
after the
last-minute
army gets
reverse,
routed and you're fleeing.
halts the pursuit.
Oh, shit.
Procopius tells us 8,000 Persians
Wow,
lay dead on the
8,000,
battlefield,
Jesus.
a number that could be accurate.
Honestly, it feels like it should be a little higher, but still. It's a lot.
For on that day, the Persians had been defeated in battle by the Romans, a thing which had not happened for a long time. Belisarius has won a brilliant victory for the Empire. Later that year, Citas, Magister Militum of Armenia, wins another victory
Seriously,
over the
God,
Persians
I love the
at
fucking name. Magistar Militum. Fucking dope, dude.
Satala. The war is swinging in Rome's favor. But the following year, encouraged by a Samaritan revolt in Palestine, King Kavad orders a large-scale raid along the Euphrates River. Belisarius assembles an army to meet them. But having ravaged Roman territory, the Persians are content to withdraw with their loot. Belisarius shadows them. His subordinates urge him to destroy the enemy before they escape. So, against his better judgment, he attacks the Persians the day before Easter Sunday at Callinicum. The battle is a disaster. Rome's Arab allies, the Hassanids, hold the right flank. But Procopius accuses them of fleeing at the first sign of danger. Persian cavalry rolls up the entire Roman line.
Holy shit, they're really fucking... Oh my god.
In desperation, the Roman infantry form a shield wall.
The Romans are getting
with
shit
their
on all
backs
of a
to the
sudden.
river. They hold off the enemy cavalry, buying time for the
Buying
remains
time
of the
for
army
the
to escape
remnants?
across
Dude,
the river.
they're themselves are the remnants. They're about to get slaughtered.
Callinicum is a humiliation for Rome and for Belisarius. His own role in the battle is unclear. According to Procopius, he remained with the infantry, organizing the retreat. Another source claims he was among the first to flee.
Wow.
It had clearly been a serious blunder to give in to pressure from his subordinates to fight an unnecessary battle.
Yeah, no reason for him to fight this
Belisarius
shit.
is removed from command and recalled to
That's...
Constantinople.
Who do they replace
Justinian
him
is
with?
forced to pay a subsidy and make a compromise peace with Persia. Not with King Kavad, who dies that year, but with his 20-year-old son, Khosrow. Khosrow will prove to be the greatest of all Sasanian kings, hailed as Anushirvan, the immortal soul,
Oh, that is
and
such
will
a cool
prove a
fucking
dangerous
name.
rival to the Romans.
feel like everyone
When major
kind of
rioting breaks out in Constantinople the next year,
Am I wrong? Maybe I'm
Belisarius
crazy.
is in the capital, eager to restore his tarnished reputation. The riots have been instigated by the factions of the Hippodrome, the Greens and Blues. These are more than chariot racing fans. The factions run whole areas of the city. At first, they seek only the release of jailed comrades. But then there are calls for a new emperor, Hypatius, nephew of Emperor Anastasius. It's likely that Justinian's rivals in the Senate are now pulling the strings. Justinian hesitates. He wonders if they should flee the capital. Then Theodora speaks up. Life as a fugitive, she declares, would be unendurable.
Damn.
Better
Strong
the old
wife
saying, royal purple makes a noble shroud.
I ain't living like
In
a
other
goddamn
words,
poor.
better to go down fighting.
I ain't living like a poor, she
The
says.
emperor is emboldened by
This
Theodora's
fucking-
words, and orders Belisarius and another general, Mundus, to crush the revolt. Belisarius's hardened troops launch a sudden attack on the rioters. There is no mercy. The streets run with blood. The final death toll is estimated at 30,000.
Holy
A staggering 1 in
shit,
20
that's a fucking
of the city's
massive death.
population.
I did not expect it to be that high. And they're just glazing over this
The
shit.
next day, Justinian orders the execution of Hypatius and his brother. Probably innocent pawns in somebody else's plot.
Oh, that's fucked. That's kind
Their
of real
bodies
fucked.
are tossed into the sea.
And they don't even get a good burial?
Thanks
They
to
just get...
Theodora
Oh, dude, I would
and
hate to just be tossed in
Belisarius,
the ocean.
Justinian's throne is safe. For now.
Yeah, for now, you fuckhead.
A Roman emperor relied on one quality more than any other from his generals: loyalty. Belisarius has proved his beyond doubt. Now, Justinian needs to shore up support for his regime, assert his legitimacy and God's favor with a military victory. He
Yeah,
has
no
his
other way to say that God loves you more than throwing more bodies to die in battle. Hey guys, I sent 100,000 of you to die, but we won. That God proves he loves us more. Even though 100,000 of you died. 101 of them died.
costly peace with
Yeah.
the Sassanid Empire. So he will turn west.
I get
A
it,
war
using
to
it as a
reclaim
claim for
Rome's
legitimacy
lost
a little
provinces
bit.
from the barbarians will be a service to God and Justinian. Such a mission can be entrusted to only one man, Belisarius. When the Western Roman Empire was overrun by barbarians in the 5th century, the Vandals emerged as perhaps the most enterprising of Rome's enemies. From Central Europe, they marched, killed, and looted their way through Roman territory into Spain.
The
And in
Goths?
429
Hold up, these were real names. Hold up. I've never heard of the Vandals or the Goths. Niksu, who were the Goths and the Vandals? Are they just like... Well, what are they now? Like, Germany? Or... Because this is Italy. The Hungarians. Okay, so the Vandals are part of the Bulgarian. Oh, they're Bulgarians. Okay, so Vandals are Hungarians, Goths are Bulgarians. Okay, so this is that. Okay.
looted their way through
Both. Oh, both. Now I'm more confused.
Roman
watch you
territory
explain.
into Spain.
Maybe it'll
And
say
in
more.
429 crossed into North Africa under the leadership of King Geseric. There he founded a kingdom and took up piracy with skill and enthusiasm.
Wait, what
In
year was this? Hold
455.
up. He made in 455. Hold up. Wasn't this already controlled by the like Arabic Muslims? And wasn't this area controlled by what's his face, Robert, and then his son who owned Sicily and then accidentally toasted off. Was that not this, or is this later in history? Is this too late in history? Because I'm almost certain there used to be like a whole Muslim Arabic nation. Son. Soon? You mean? Or is it his son? Roger was alive during the 10,000s. Oh, that's the thousands. Okay, this is 400. Okay, we got another like fucking 600 years. I'll take a chill pill.
Sacked Rome itself. 75 years
My bad
later,
on the
Eastern
years.
Romans and Vandals had learned to tolerate each other. Emperor Justinian's relations with the Vandal king...
Wait. Why is he called the last Roman emperor then? I thought you said that, what's his face? There's a Holy Roman Emperor later, so why is he considered the last Roman? Because there was a whole nother Roman nation, the Holy Roman Empire, and there were other Roman emperors during that time who were definitely appointed. And I'm pretty sure they had pretty cool fucking names too, with Roman in it or something. Am I crazy? Holy Roman Empire wasn't Roman. It wasn't. Then, I mean, I know they were Franks and Germans. I thought they were Vikings. They were Franks? Or the Franks are the Vikings? I'm confused now. I am wrong timeline, but God, fuck, dude. All this shit is so hard to keep track of. There's so much fucking war. Everyone's just stabbing each other all the goddamn time. Can someone take a break from stabbing each other?
Were in fact extremely cordial. The two men exchanged gifts, and though Justinian regretted that Hilderic was an Arian heretic, he was pleased that he did at least allow Orthodox Christians in his realm to live in peace. Then, in 530 AD, there was a coup in the kingdom of
that guy
the
looks like he's
Vandals.
gonna stab you.
Gelimer,
like,
Hilderic's cousin and heir, seized
Put your head on a
power
pipe.
and imprisoned the ex-king. Unlike his hapless predecessor, humiliated in war by the Berber tribes, Gelimer was a proven warrior, and cunning to boot. When Justinian scolded Gelimer as a usurper, the new Vandal king warned the emperor to mind his own affairs.
He's like, Emperor's like, yo, dude, that's not very cool of you. He basically just turned to the emperor and said, shut the fuck up, dumbass, or I'll do some shit to you.
Then, for good measure, blinded one of Hilderic's nephews.
Oh, wow, goddamn.
3 years pass. Justinian makes peace with the Sassanid Empire and survives the Nika riots. Now he decides it's time to teach Gelimer a lesson.
Treaty of Eternal Peace. Yeah, I wonder how eternal this peace is gonna be. Maybe 5 whole fucking minutes. Eternal my ass.
Now he decides it's time to teach Gelimer a lesson. Imperial propaganda and the historian Procopius will later portray Justinian's war on the Vandals as part of a long-held plan to reconquer the Western Empire, for the sake of true belief in God and the liberty of our subjects. Modern historians are more skeptical. Justinian needs a victory to bolster his regime. Gelimer's actions have provided just provocation, and the recovery of North Africa's wealthy estates will bring obvious benefits. Perhaps self-interest, opportunism, and a sense of divine imperial mission all play a part in his decision to go to war. Many try to dissuade the emperor. His senior advisor, John of Cappadocia, warns of the hazards and cost of a long-range seaborne operation. His generals are haunted by the fate of the last Roman expedition to North Africa, a huge fleet destroyed by Vandal fireships off Cape Bon.
Oh, that's just a cute name.
Justinian is not deterred. He orders the fleet and army to assemble at Constantinople. Belisarius, restored to the rank of Magister Militum per Orientem, General of the
rise
East,
and fall of
is
goddamn
given complete authority
Belisarius, bro.
over the campaign. His force includes 10,000 infantry under the command of John of Dyrrachium, 5,000 cavalry divided between Federati and regular Roman units, as well as 600 Hun mercenaries, 400 Heruli mercenaries, and Belisarius' own Bucellari.
Okay, so last time I totally thought the Huns were going to be thrown under the fucking boat and just be left to be run over. But I'm actually interested to see what the mercenaries are going to do again. They paid a very pivotal fucking, I need to get some water after this, pivotal point in the fucking battle. His Belisari just fucking sat in the back of little bitches.
Probably around 1,000 men.
Let's see.
An old comrade, John
17K. Yeah, no, it's a little bit lower than I thought it would be, honestly. Especially against, at this time. We were seeing the armies earlier of fucking 50,000, right? Even the army earlier defending the city was at 25. It's a little bit on the smaller end, but we'll see if they position well. Last time they were able to position people on the flanks, get people to draw in on the wing, and then have the Huns hit them from multiple sides. Then redirected the Huns very efficiently. You know, the Persians,
Armenia,
despite having
second in command.
So
Solomon,
much mobility,
a eunuch,
didn't really
is
utilize
chief staff
it well.
officer. It
So
is
we'll
not
see.
a large army, but most are hardened.
I like it your comment. He's like, oh, it's a small army. It's not a large army, says even the fucking narrator. Everyone agrees. It is a tiny army. 17? No, that's small.
veterans from the wars in the East. Belisarius will also be accompanied by his wife, Antonina, an arrangement that doubtless provokes comments from conservative Romans, but seems to have been generally accepted.
That feels a little risky,
She will
but
prove
sure.
an insightful and effective ally to her husband, as well as a valuable agent to her patron and friend, Empress Theodora.
Oh! Damn, she's in with the Empress.
The fleet sets sail in June 533.
Atta girl.
Belisarius believes that much will depend on the discipline of his men.
It always kind of depends
But
on the
before
discipline
they've
of your
even
men.
cleared the
That's
Hellespont,
inevitable,
2 Hun
unfortunately.
mercenaries drunkenly murder a comrade.
Holy shit, no way.
Belisarius has them hanged.
Yeah,
in
you
full
better
view
fucking
of the
hang
fleet.
them. Shit, you can't kill your own fucking teammates even before
Then
the war
he
begins.
addresses the army.
I call them teammates instead of like.
If I were
allies,
speaking
'cause
to
it's-
men going to war for the first time, I might struggle to persuade you that justice can be our greatest ally in obtaining victory.
Justice, really?
For those who don't understand the fortunes of war, think the outcome depends on strength alone. But you, I think, know that although it's men who do the fighting, it is God who judges the contest.
Ah, okay, he's one of those guys.
This is why Belisarius warns them he will never turn a blind eye to their crimes. He concludes, I shall not consider any one of you my comrade, no matter how fearsome he is to the enemy, unless his hands are clean. The fleet continues its voyage, making stops to pick up supplies and additional troops. Along the way, 500 men die from eating moldy bread, which Procopius blames on cost-cutting measures by the stingy John of Cappadocia.
Fuck you,
In
John
Sicily,
Cappadocia.
Belisarius receives fresh supplies from the Goths. There,
Nice.
as he ponders his next move, he receives stunning news. Not only are the Vandals completely unaware of his expedition, but Gelimer has sent his brother Zazo with most of the Vandal fleet and 5,000 troops to quell a revolt in Sardinia. Belisarius might have been tempted to land in Tripolitania, where Romanized locals are already in revolt against the Vandals. But reassured by the absence of the Vandal fleet, he decides to land in the Vandal heartland, within striking distance of their capital, Carthage. The landing is unopposed.
Really? Did they just not know
But
about it, or
Belisarius is furious when some of his men steal from the locals. He
really?
has them punished, then
He's
speaks once
he's
more
upset
to the
about
troops.
his men stealing from the locals. I'm actually a little surprised about that. I thought, you know, he would just be like, hey, go ahead, we need to loot and plunder, kill all the enemy, you know. But wow, fucking...
The Libyans, being Romans from of old, are unfaithful and hostile to the Vandals. Now your lack of self-control has made the opposite true.
I mean, that's true, but why do they care about that? They need resources, and if the locals are dead, then what the fuck are the locals going to do? Just because they only have a small force doesn't mean it's not a force.
He warns them that lawlessness will lose them the support of the people and lead only to defeat and death. But with
although
good
he says
behavior,
the exact same thing you say, though.
You will have God on your side.
He is very much of the God on your side kind of shit. Which, it's good that he's honorable, honestly. But I don't like people doing things to the peasants. I think it's wrong during war, but just it's a little surprising, especially during this time period, that they would hold to their morals. So, good on him. Good on him.
The Libyan people will support you, and the Vandals will be at your mercy. Belisarius orders some of his most trusted men to infiltrate a nearby town, Selectum, to see if the people will come over to the Roman side. The soldiers enter discreetly at dawn. They inform local elders that Belisarius has come to overthrow Gelimer the usurper and restore their freedom. The townsmen agree to let the army into the city and open the market to them.
Wow. Okay, so I didn't realize that the I must have missed it or had a lapse in attention for a fucking second. I didn't realize that the locals were upset at their current ruler for usurping the throne, which he did earlier. Oh no, that was a while ago. Okay, that was a while ago. Never mind.
Generous to the Libyans.
Well, not a while ago.
Crucially, his men behave well. They pay for supplies and win the trust of the locals.
Good, good.
Procopius, an eyewitness, records that from henceforth, the campaign is like moving through their own country.
Wow, people are just a fan of them, I guess. Okay, that's good.
Belisarius begins his advance along the coastal road to Carthage. He knows Gelimer is somewhere inland and could strike from almost any direction. So he orders John of Armenia, his second in command, to take 300 Bucellari and scout 2 miles ahead of the main army. Belisarius himself commands a strong rear guard. The Huns are posted as a flank guard, 2 miles inland. Their sea flank is protected by the fleet, keeping pace with the army's advance. The army marches about 10 miles each day, then fortifies a camp at night. When Gelimer receives news of the Roman landing, he sends a message to his brother Amatus in Carthage. First, he is to execute Hilderic and the other prisoners. Then he is to gather all his men and join Gelimer.
Brother, kill the prisoners and join me in stabbing more people.
Destroy Belisarius'
we will stab
army.
people better than everyone else.
Ad Decimum, 10 miles south of Carthage. Here, the coastal road passes through a narrow gap between a salt marsh and the sea.
Oh, that's not good.
Gelimer knows Belisarius will have to pass this way, and that the headland of Cape Bon will separate him from his fleet.
Oh, that's really bad.
Amatus is to hold the road to Carthage, and when the Romans are fully engaged, Gelimer and his nephew Gibamund will fall on their...
Okay, so this is a very strong position for the fucking usurper dickhead. If they're waiting here, I guess the only goal of the Romans is, if they see this, instead to hold back here or to go the long way around. But if they try to go the long way around, they'll still be hit from behind by this small detachment. Would it just be to sit back here then, maybe? The best fight is a fight you don't take sometimes, but I don't know. I guess it depends on how the Romans utilize their mercenaries and cavalry again.
Flank and rear. Belisarius and his army approach. Roman patrols report skirmishes with the Vandals. Gelimer is close. A few miles short of Ad Decimum, Belisarius gives the order to make camp and sends John's vanguard ahead to scout the road. At Ad Decimum, they find Amatus with just a handful of troops. he has arrived too early. The rest of his men are still strung out on the road to Carthage.
Oh shit, they're not ready.
John and the
Oh
Bucellari
shit! Oh fuck, the Romans are gonna fuck their ass
killing
up.
12 men before
Oh,
he
whole
is cut
12.
down.
Oh wait, he killed 12. Oh, that's
The
actually pretty
Vandals'
fucking...
survivors flee back towards Carthage, with John and his men in pursuit. Groups of Vandals coming up the road see the fleeing horsemen. They think the whole Roman army must be headed their way. They panic and join the rout. John and his men slay all the Vandals they can catch. Meanwhile, on the edge of the Salt Lake, the Huns have encountered Gibberman's column. According to a Hun custom, a single warrior rides forward to meet the enemy. This is the first time Gibbermund and his men have faced Huns, but they know their fearsome reputation. They are unnerved by the lone horseman and suspect a trap.
Now that one
When the
horseman
Huns charge,
is the trap. He's
the
just that
Vandals
badass.
quickly
He's
turn
gonna kill
and
everyone.
flee. Gibbermund
Wow!
is one of those killed in the rout.
Really? No way. They just fucking
Gelimer is
run?
advancing between low hills
No
that
fucking
block his
way.
view of both Belisarius'
Hold
camp
up, hold-
and of those the Vandals can suspect a trap. When the Huns charge, the Vandals quickly turn and flee.
That's it? Just because the one guy standing out front, they're like, oh, it's clearly a trap. And then Gibbermund's dead? Fuck, dude. That's embarrassing.
Gelimer is advancing between low hills that block his view of both Belisarius' camp and the fate of Gibbermund.
Dude, that's literally exactly what it is. Everyone is just shitting themselves at the sight of the fucking Huns for no reason. They fucking just walk up here. I wish I could draw right here. They just fucking drop a big ass fucking dookie on my goddamn screen.
Belisarius is also unaware that battle has been joined, but sends his Federati cavalry forward, expecting some skirmishing with the Vandals. When his cavalry reach Aedecimum, they see signs of fighting and bodies. Then, several thousand Vandal horsemen appear behind them. The Federati commanders have no idea whether to advance or
Yeah,
retreat.
you're kind of just fucked at that point, brother.
After a brief clash, the entire force retreats back towards the Roman camp. Gelimer is now in position to deal Belisarius a serious blow. If he heads north, he can trap and destroy John's isolated vanguard. If he moves south, he can hit the Roman cavalry while it's still confused and disordered. Instead, Gelimer discovers the body of his brother, Amatus, and is overcome with grief. As their king oversees his brother's burial, his perplexed troops look on and do nothing. Belisarius is given a crucial breathing space. He rallies his cavalry, reorganizes them, and leads them forward. The Roman cavalry fall on the Vandals with devastating force. The enemy are scattered. Gelimer and the survivors fly west. The road to Carthage is open. And it fell to Belisarius that day to win more fame than any other man of his time, or indeed any of the men of olden times. Belisarius, wary of ambush, waits till dawn the next day before making his triumphal entry into Carthage. Once more, his troops behave well. The citizens of Carthage are respected. This peaceful occupation of such a wealthy city in such times is remarkable. Belisarius sits on Gelimer's throne and eats the lunch that had been prepared for him. He attends to the requests and pleas of local citizens. But the Vandals aren't beaten yet.
Yeah, you can't pretend you're in charge before all the enemies have their fucking ass kicked,
that
dude.
Zazo has put down the Sardinian revolt and is returning with 5,000 men.
Ooh, that's not a lot, but it's not a little bit either.
Gelimer advances on Carthage. Belisarius leads out his army to face him at Tricomarum. The Roman cavalry camps near a small brook, where the Vandals catch them off guard, deploying for battle while the Romans are still making lunch. But again, Gelimer fails to exploit an advantage. He does nothing.
He let the Romans deploy. Oh my god. When the fucking Romans catch his ass off guard, they're like, they fucking full tilt into him. He catches them eating lunch, and he's like, oh, and shoves his thumb up his ass. What a fucking tag. Oh my god.
Infantry, which had fallen behind on the march from Carthage, gets into position. It's the Romans who attack first, when John of Armenia leads the Bucellari forward against the Vandal center. Twice he is repulsed, but the third attack is made with greater force. Zazo himself is killed within sight of Gelimer. Belisarius orders the rest of his army forward. The Vandals flee, leaving behind 800 dead. The Romans have lost just 50 men.
50 to fucking... Is that 8? Dude, that is a big ratio. Oh my god. I'd be pretty embarrassed if I was the Vandals. Let's just say that. Oh, hey, I see my enemy just doing nothing, and I waited until they got ready. And after they got ready, I lost 800 men, and I only killed 50 of them. Like, fuck, dude.
800 dead. The Romans have lost just 50 men.
That, like, fuck.
The Vandals take refuge in their camp, which contains all their baggage and their families.
And their families? Wait.
Belisarius brings up his infantry to begin the assault. King Gelimer flees.
And the king flees?
The fight is entirely one-sided. Panic soon engulfs the Vandal camp as everyone tries to escape. The Romans kill the men, enslave the women and children, and plunder all they can find. Belisarius cannot restore discipline until the morning. Gelimer flees towards the mountains. Belisarius sends John in pursuit with 200 horsemen, but 5 days later, John is accidentally killed by one of his own men.
Accidentally killed by one of his own men? That feels like some bullshit. That feels like he was assassinated by one of his own men for political reasons. Or someone was told to kill him off. That isn't... How do you accidentally get killed by your own man? That feels like bullshit.
Comrade. He sends Pharas and his Heruli to take over the pursuit of Gelimer. The Vandal king takes refuge with the Berber tribes. 3 months later, hunger and the promise of comfort and clemency persuades him to surrender. Meanwhile, Belisarius sends one of his officers to Sardinia with the head of the king's brother Zazo. The island quickly submits to Roman rule, as too does Corsica.
Damn.
From Carthage, detachments and emissaries travel east and west as North Africa rejoins the Roman Empire.
Damn, the Eastern Roman Empire
Settlements
is
and
kicking
outposts
ass.
still suffer Berber raids, but Belisarius delegates this war to his able staff officer Solomon. He sails for Constantinople with his prisoners and a vast quantity of loot.
Yeah, dude, fucking get back to your home while you have a win.
Officers, motivated by envy and ambition, have told the emperor that Belisarius plans to found his own kingdom in North Africa.
Oh.
Belisarius soon persuades Justinian in person that this is all lies and his loyalty is absolute.
Is this
the
true, or is he
emperor
going to betray
rewards
him?
him with a triumph, the victory parade with which for 1,000 years the Romans had celebrated their greatest conquests. It's the first triumph to be awarded to anyone but an emperor.
Wow, that's
in
a fucking
500
huge
years.
ass honor.
He is also awarded the title of consul, once the senior political office in the Roman Republic, long since reduced to an honorary title. Belisarius's loot, including much of what the Vandals had plundered from Rome, is paraded in front of the citizens of Constantinople and the emperor, along with his prisoners, including King Gelimer himself, who is heard to mutter words from the Old Testament. Vanity of vanities. All is vanity. Whether such events as these ever took place before, I am not able to say. The Vandal kingdom at the height of its wealth and military strength completely undone in so short a time by 5,000 men. For such was the number of horsemen who followed Belisarius and carried through the whole war against the Vandals. For whether this happened by chance or valor, one would justly marvel at it. Known to history as the Vandalic War, Belisarius's campaign has reclaimed one of the Roman Empire's wealthiest provinces in just 6 months with minimal losses. The Battle of Dara had proven his skill as a tactical commander. In North Africa, his victory comes through discipline and diplomacy, and a brilliantly successful Hearts and Minds campaign. But already it's clear there are those within the Empire who resent such success and seek his downfall. Belisarius will not have long to rest on his laurels. A murder in far-off Tuscany is about to lead to his most formidable challenge yet. The victim is Amalasuntha, daughter of Theodoric the Great. Her death means war between the Eastern Empire and the Goths. A war that will lead Belisarius to the gates of Rome itself. "60 years have passed since the Western Roman Empire fell to barbarians. Many kings emerged to rule over its shattered remains. Above them all towered Theodoric the Great. With Eastern Roman approval, he'd led his Ostrogoth warbands from the Balkans into Italy. He overthrew and killed Odoacer, the man who'd deposed the last Western emperor, and forged his own Goth superstate. Theodoric, an Arian Christian, worked with the Senate in Rome and sought close relations with the Eastern Roman Empire. To Emperor Anastasius, he wrote, "Our royalty is an imitation of yours, modeled on your good purpose, a copy of the only empire." Procopius, the 6th century historian and aide to Belisarius, would himself praise Theodoric as, in name, a tyrant, but in fact, an emperor, no less than any who've ever distinguished themselves in that office. In the eyes of his supporters, Theodoric had revived the Western Roman Empire, in all but name. But the succession would unravel his great achievement. Theodoric had 3 daughters, so his heir was to have been his son-in-law, Eutharic, but he died 4 years before the king, in 522. The succession passed to Theodoric's 10-year-old grandson, Athalaric. His mother, the highly educated and formidable Amalasuntha, ruled as regent. In defending her position, Amalasuntha made powerful enemies among the Goths, and when her son died aged just 18, one of those enemies, her cousin Theodahad, became king. In 535, he has Amalasuntha imprisoned on an island in the middle of Lake Bolsena. Weeks later, assassins arrive. They're rumored to be vengeful relatives of men Amalasuntha had had killed during her regency. The daughter of Theodoric the Great is strangled in her bath. Theodahad thinks he can quietly eliminate his rival without repercussions. But Amalasuntha had been a trusted ally of the Emperor Justinian, and he is looking for an excuse for war. And the Emperor, upon learning what had befallen Amalasuntha, immediately entered upon the war, being in the 9th year of his reign. For Justinian, chaos at the Ostrogoth court presents an opportunity. After success in North Africa, he wants Italy for the empire. The strategic and symbolic gains will be immense. Before her death, Amalasuntha had offered him the kingdom in exchange for political asylum. Now Justinian pressures Theodahad, a notoriously corrupt and greedy man, to accept the same deal.
Sorry about that. I had to
or
fuck
face
off
war.
for a second. Oh, damn. Did, like,
Justinian's tough diplomacy is backed up by military deployments.
They're gone.
Mundus,
Yeah,
commanding
like,
the army
in
in Illyria, advances into Goth-controlled Dalmatia
like carpet,
and takes
but
Salona, the modern city of Split. Belisarius, meanwhile, is ordered to sail with 9,000 men to Sicily to see if the Goths there will put up a fight.
I missed a little bit of it. I missed the last second. Sorry. I had a suitcase from Vegas that was sitting at the side of my bed, and then accidentally, I don't know if I knocked it off with my chair spinning or something, and then it fell onto some stuff. So I was picking up a little bit, but I didn't want you to hear that here. You know what? I'm gonna rewind a quick second. I know there was the woman chained.
Assassins arrive. They're rumored to be vengeful relatives of men Amalasuntha had killed during her regency. The daughter of Theodoric the Great is strangled in her bath. Theodahad thinks he can quietly eliminate his rival without repercussions.
Yeah, that's a pretty fucking horrific one.
But Amalasuntha had been a trusted ally of the Emperor Justinian.
Oh bueno.
And he is looking for an excuse for war.
Well, there's your excuse.
And the Emperor, upon learning what had befallen Amalasuntha, immediately entered upon the war, being in the 9th year of his reign. For Justinian, chaos at the Ostrogoth court presents an opportunity. After success in North Africa, he wants Italy for the empire. The strategic and symbolic gains will be immense. Before her death, Amalasuntha had offered him the kingdom in exchange for political asylum. Now Justinian pressures Theodahad, a notoriously corrupt and greedy man, to accept the same deal or face war. Justinian's tough diplomacy is backed up by military deployments. Mundus, commanding the army in Illyria, advances into Goth-controlled Dalmatia and takes Salona, the modern city of Split. Belisarius, meanwhile, is ordered to sail with 9,000 men to Sicily to see if the Goths there will put up a fight. Only the garrison of Palermo offers resistance, which is soon overcome. The rest of Sicily submits to the Romans without a fight. On the last day of 535, Belisarius marks the end of his consulship, scattering coins to the crowds in Syracuse as his troops march triumphantly through the city. As negotiations continue in the Goth capital Ravenna between Theodahad and Justinian's envoy, Solomon, Praetorian prefect of North Africa, arrives in Sicily with alarming news from Carthage.
What kind of news?
The army, angered by late pay and religious
Holy
discrimination,
shit.
has murdered its officers and mutinied.
Dude, that is horrific. Like, okay, listen. Always pay your fucking soldiers. Like, if they are pissed off, they will that... Shit.
Belisarius immediately sails for Carthage with just 100 picked men. His own formidable reputation, plus generous handouts of cash, quickly secures the loyalty of 2,000 troops, whom he leads out to face the 9,000 mutineers. The mutineer army is a motley crew of Romans, mercenaries, renegade Vandals, and escaped slaves, commanded by Stotzas, a former Bucellarius. They have no generals and little discipline. When Stotzas tries to maneuver his army into a better position, it becomes badly disordered.
That's such a great situation.
Belisarius immediately launches an all-out attack. Stotzas and his army turn and run. Belisarius has saved Carthage, but the war in North Africa against Berbers and rebels will drag on for 15 more years. This task falls to Solomon, as Belisarius must race back to Sicily to quash another mutiny among his own troops.
His own? What?
In the Balkans,
did they not pay his own
meanwhile,
troops this
a
time?
Goth
Shit,
counterattack results in the death of General Mundus, and the Romans make a tactical
yeah,
withdrawal.
I don't give a fuck who Mundus is. Never
When
heard
news
of,
of this minor triumph reaches King Theodahad, he feels suddenly emboldened
Oh no,
and
everyone's gonna
rejects
revolt.
all Justinian's demands. Belisarius receives new orders. He is to
Fuck him
cross
up,
the
bro.
Strait of Messina
Belisarius, kick his
and
ass.
reconquer Italy from the Ostrogoths.
Oh,
Belisarius lands in Italy with barely
wow,
8,000 men.
only 8,000?
The
What the
bulk
fuck
of
are
his
they gonna
troops
do?
are infantry, including 3,000 Isaurians, fierce warriors from the Taurus Mountains of Anatolia. His cavalry includes Hun and Berber mercenaries, as well as the elite Bucalari, the picked troops maintained by Belisarius, and other senior commanders.
Yeah, once again, only reason they're maintained is because he keeps shoving them in fucking reserve.
As in North Africa,
Hitman.
he is accompanied on campaign by his wife Antonina, a capable and trusted ally of Empress Theodora. That the Emperor entrusts the campaign to such a small force, when the Goths can field an army 4 times its size, indicates Justinian's supreme confidence in Belisarius. But it is also a sign that he has badly underestimated the Goths and their will to fight. Belisarius's army is welcomed by southern Italians and meets no opposition as far as Naples. This city has strong walls and a garrison of 800 Goths. Belisarius appeals directly to its citizens, urging them to throw open the gates and warning of the dire consequences of an assault.
I mean,
I pray that an ancient city which has long been inhabited by Christians and Romans may not meet with such a fortune, especially at my hands.
what
as a
would you do
commander
here,
of
Nixon?
Roman
If you
troops.
were a citizen and you were about to be sacked by the Romans, would you revolt? Would you say, nah, fuck that shit? What would you do? What would you try to do, bro? Because that's a real situation. Open the gates. Oh, shit, okay. Fucking cowabunga.
The citizens of Naples are divided, but ultimately their leaders reject the demand to hand over the city. When Belisarius's troops sneak into the city using an old aqueduct, there is a savage slaughter of Goths and Italian citizens alike, until the general can restore order. The main Ostrogoth army has been standing idle 60 miles to the north. Theodahad, never suited to military command,
Yeah,
and
no,
now
especially with the
unsettled
way
by
that just
omens,
turned out.
does nothing to save Naples. It's his own death sentence. He is deposed and killed. Witigis becomes the new king of the Ostrogoths. He is in his 60s, but he's an experienced soldier who fought alongside Theodoric the Great. He assumes that
Who's,
Belisarius
Theodoric
must
the
be
Great?
leading a large army up from the south, and wants more time to gather his forces. He also plans to negotiate
I don't remember everyone, dude. Just give me a 4-second re-explanation. Alright? History's hard to keep track of. Or don't. It's fine, too.
truce with the Franks, which will free up more troops for the war against the Romans. So, leaving 4,000 men to hold Rome, Witigis withdraws to Ravenna. Belisarius garrisons Naples and advances.
King of Ostrogoth who conquered Italy and Spain with the approval of Romans. Wait, but the Romans are conquering them now? Wait, hold up. So he killed the guy he was used to go to war with? That's kind of
Witigis
fucked.
becomes the new king of the Ostrogoths. He is in his 60s,
king's
but
daughter,
he's an
they-
experienced
okay,
soldier who
got
fought alongside Theodoric the
No,
Great.
bro. Wait, so it's the other way around.
He assumes that Belisarius must be leading a large army up from the south.
Oh, he's not assigned by Belisarius. Okay, Villagis killed some bum at... Okay. Got it. Okay. I'm
Wants
being
more
a fucking
time
monkey
to gather
brain.
his forces.
A random.
He also plans to negotiate a truce with the Franks, which will free up more troops for the war against the Romans. So, leaving 4,000 men to hold Rome, Witigis withdraws to Ravenna. Belisarius garrisons Naples and advances up the old Roman road, the Via Latina, to Rome. But as he nears the great city, the Goths simply abandon it.
The Goths are like, nah, fuck it. You can keep
They
your own
march
city.
out through the Porta Flaminia, as
Shit, dude, I mean, that's
Belisarius
smart.
and
Why
his
would
army
you
march in through the
Exhaust
Porta
your army for no
Asinaria,
reason.
a gate which, though much restored, survives to this day.
Wow, that's pretty cool that a gate's still around.
60 years after the fall of the Western Empire, Rome once more belongs to the Romans.
Woo!
Belisarius duly
Eastern
dispatches
Empire
the keys
takes
to the city
all.
to Emperor Justinian. Rome in the 6th century is still a great city, but a shadow of its former glory. In its imperial heyday, Rome's population had been around 500,000. Now it's just a fifth of that.
Whoa!
But it remains the seat of the Roman Senate and the Pope, and a city of intense emotional and cultural significance to all Romans. The city is also notoriously difficult to defend, which is why the Goths have abandoned it. The famous Aurelian walls are crumbling, and at 12 miles in length are too long for a small army to easily hold.
No, to hold all
Goths
of
had
this, you
also
would need
worried-
probably a pretty big army. Even if you just tried to hold the entrances, they would just siege some fucking area you're not.
That Rome's large population might turn against them.
Also, very valid.
Belisarius is down to
Population would
7,000
be like,
men.
yo, you're getting us fucking
Not enough
killed,
to face the Goths
bombarded,
in open
fuck
battle.
you, get the fuck out of our city,
So
assholes.
he sends detachments to garrison key strongholds along the Via Flaminia, the road to Ravenna, which he hopes will delay the inevitable Goth advance. While in Rome, he and his men begin hurried preparations
Alright,
for
that's
a
pretty
siege.
smart. Never hurts to have more
The walls are repaired,
resistance to
and
sieges.
merlons are added.
Especially because it's a safer way to wage war for
A
yourself.
deep moat is dug around the
As long
city.
as you have supplies, at least.
The granaries are filled with grain.
There you go, there are the
All
granaries.
Rome's adult male citizens are conscripted into the city guard. Witigis, meanwhile, has been told how small Belisarius' army is. Embarrassed by his earlier caution, he gives the
Okay, now
order-
this is a mistake, dude. Every time we see someone, oh, man, my army is so much bigger than theirs. It'll be easy. I'll just run right at them. You know it's gonna go
for his
bad.
reinforced
You know
army
it's gonna
to
go
march
bad.
on Rome. His chief concern is to get there before Belisarius can escape. But Belisarius has no plans to flee. And whoever of you has hopes of setting foot in Rome without a fight is mistaken in his judgment. For as long as Belisarius lives, it is impossible for him to relinquish this city. Such were the words of Belisarius.
Damn, Belisarius said, "You shall not pass."
537 AD. In early spring, Witigis leads a huge Goth army, probably more than 30,000 men, down the Via Flaminia, sweeping past the small Roman outposts.
I'd like an army of Goth women.
Belisarius plans to fight a delaying
Joke,
action
joke.
1.5 miles north of the city at the Salarian Bridge. But his infantry,
Already got a
terrified by
pretty
the
high
size of the Goth army, abandon the bridge without a fight. Belisarius is left facing the Goth army with just 1,000 horsemen. He orders his men to charge. Belisarius himself fights in the front rank. Scores of men fall around him.
Attaboy.
Goth spears finally drive Belisarius and his men back towards the Porta Salaria. At first, its defenders don't recognize Belisarius, covered in dust and gore, and won't let him in. He's forced to launch another desperate charge to drive the Goths back from the walls.
He's like, let me in, let me in!
Finally, the gate is
they
open.
don't. Oh my god.
He and his men
it kind of makes me think of the fucking, what's that moment with the Punisher? No, no, no. Wait. And he's just like banging on the door. Let me in, let me in, let me in. Ah, no.
The city. The siege of Rome begins. The city is too large for Witigis to completely surround. He builds 7 fortified camps north of the city and cuts the aqueducts that have supplied Rome with water for 800 years.
Oh,
there will
that's
be
smart.
no baths for the Romans, but the city's wells will still supply drinking water.
Oh, okay, well then they're not that far.
When Belisarius rejects calls to surrender, the Goths begin building rams, ladders, and siege towers for a major assault. 18 days later, they attack.
Oh, the fucking Goths.
But their inexperience in siege warfare is soon evident. Their towers are pulled by oxen. The Romans shoot all the animals, and the towers are left stranded. The Goths assault the city from multiple directions. The mausoleum of Hadrian, converted into a fortress, comes under heavy pressure. But eventually, the Goths are thrown back on all fronts. That night, the Romans celebrate a great victory. Lighting
Romans
fires
celebrate every
and
victory
singing
here.
from the
Jesus
battlements.
Christ.
Both sides prepare for a long siege. Belisarius is an inspiring presence in the city, active, calm, and confident, even when others begin to despair. He has written
he
to
kinda has to,
Justinian,
unfortunately.
urgently
He's the
requesting
general.
reinforcements. Now he oversees every aspect of the city's defense and supply. He orders all non-combatants to travel south to Naples, so there are fewer mouths to feed. He has the keys to the gates changed regularly to reduce the risk from treachery, while his Berber mercenaries patrol at night with dogs to detect any surprise attack. His wife, Antonina, also takes an active role. When the Pope is suspected of conducting secret talks with the Goths, she demands, "Tell us, Lord Pope Silverius, what have we done to you and the Romans to make you want to betray us to the Goths?"
Damn, fucking
Pope
this
is
lady
arrested
stands on
and sent out of the
business.
city.
The Pope is arrested? Fuck,
Month into
dude.
the siege,
Out of it.
Belisarius
Damn.
receives much-needed reinforcements. 1,600 cavalry, mostly Huns and Slavs, led by Martinus and Valerian. Belisarius has seen that the Goths have no mounted archers. Now he can use his own to make hit-and-run attacks against the enemy. A few hundred horsemen will ride within range of the Goths, shower them with arrows, then fall back under covering fire from the city walls. Procopius counts 67 actions of this type, both large and small. Almost all are won by the Romans because of their superior cavalry. The victories raise morale and frustrate the enemy.
Hey, dude, guerrilla
But they
warfare,
will
lots of
not
small
break
skirmishes.
the siege.
Oh, fuck off with the number. No, fuck off with 67. Fuck you.
The situation deteriorates dramatically when the Goths take Portus, Rome's port at the mouth of the river Tiber, making it much more difficult to get supplies into the city.
You're a goddamn grown man.
By September, 6 months into the siege, hunger and sickness begin to take hold. Even the army's mules are killed to make sausages.
Aww. Not the mules.
The citizens of Rome beg Belisarius to stake everything on one decisive battle for the city. But he refuses, telling them, "You act as though you were playing dice and want to risk everything on a single roll. But it is not my custom to choose the short course."
Okay, yeah. I get that, Belisarius, but the Roman citizens, they're suffering, and they're kind of fed the fuck up with what's going on, bro. You need to do something. or the
over
Romans
the
ain't
best
gonna be
course.
happy.
Instead, Belisarius sends Antonina and Procopius to Naples, with instructions to use his authority to requisition all grain and every soldier who can be spared, and send both to Rome.
I mean, at least he's doing
500
something.
men and a convoy of supplies are soon rolling up the Via Appia. They're followed by 1,800 cavalry reinforcements, who land at Dryas, modern Otranto. Then 3,000 Isaurians arrive at Naples aboard grain ships and travel on to Ostia
Just
by
shy
sea.
of, it's like 4,000
After months of delay, the vast resources of the Eastern Roman Empire are finally coming to Belisarius' aid.
Yeah, this is how America wins wars. Resources. This is how Rome won wars. Resources, motherfucker. Doesn't matter if you're better than us. We got better resources. We got better supply chains. We got better everything.
The garrison of Rome launch a series of diversionary attacks on the Goths. These allow the supplies, under Antonina's direction, to slip into the city. The threat of starvation is ended. It's the last
California
straw for
will
Vitiges.
wear you guys out. Hey guys,
His own-
when you go to war with California, you gotta be wary. We got the unlimited supply of avocados. No, but in reality, dude, our shipping lanes, since we're connected to the Pacific, we'll fucking... I mean, there's a reason we're a hub, dude. Long Beach, like, San Fran, all the coastal cities. Lots of shipping, dude.
Men have been camped outside Rome for almost a year, harassed by the enemy, themselves decimated by disease and hunger. The Ostrogoth king asks for a truce, to open negotiations with the emperor. He offers Justinian all of southern Italy, but it is not enough. The initiative has swung to Belisarius. Belisarius has sent an elite force of 2,000 cavalry, commanded by John, north
Imagine
into Picenum,
like half of a
behind
fucking
enemy
country
lines.
not being enough for you.
Belisarius has sent an elite force of Belisarius with the
Ah! No, not zero.
532 AD to make Italy. Belisarius is marching them back. Goth men. By the Vitiges has no choice but to abandon the siege and march north in dice and want starvation is ending all grain and every men and a convoy load. Men have been camped out by disease for all straw
Alright, I'm
for
just gonna start from
Vitiges.
here. Fuck.
His own men have been camped
That was
outside
not
Rome
meant to
for
happen.
almost
Sorry
a
about
year,
that, boys.
harassed by the enemy, themselves decimated by disease and hunger. The Ostrogoth king asks for a truce
Yeah, he's
to
like, yo, I'm
open
tired of this shit.
negotiations with the emperor. He offers Justinian all of southern Italy,
All of southern
but it
Italy.
is
Okay.
not enough. The initiative has swung to Belisarius. Belisarius has sent an elite force of 2,000 cavalry, commanded by John, north into Picenum, behind enemy lines. When the Goths break the terms of the truce, Belisarius orders John to unleash hell. Almost all the Goth warriors are away on military service. Their farms and settlements are completely exposed.
Oh my fucking god. No.
John sacks, burns, and
Holy
plunders at
shit.
will. Enslaving
Dude, this is why you don't fucking break truces. Holy fucking crap. I mean, like, the women and children didn't deserve it, but fuck, dude.
hundreds of Goth women and children. Romans are not armed. Vitiges' uncle gathers a small force to challenge John. They're no match for his Bucellari. John ignores the Goth
I'd like to
strongholds
say, it's
at
finally nice that the fucking elite troops did something. The Bucellari, oh, the Bucellari! Dude, they've been hyped so long, and every time they're just the reserve troops. Finally, they fucking killed something.
and Auximum,
Like,
but at the
fuck.
invitation of its citizens, occupies the walled city of
Maybe I'm
Ariminum,
just being a shithead.
just 30
I'm probably
miles
just
south
being a
of the
shithead. I'm
Ostrogoth
always
capital
being a shithead,
at
but,
Ravenna.
you know.
Vitiges has no choice but to abandon the siege
Oh shit.
and march north to defend the Goth heartland. Against the odds, under-resourced and outnumbered, Belisarius has triumphed in one of history's most epic sieges. A siege that has lasted 1 year and 9 days.
Jesus, that's a long-ass siege.
Because of him, the city of Romulus and the Caesars once more belongs to the Roman Empire. The war against the Goths in Italy seems to be entering its final phase. Belisarius's position appears unassailable.
And then he gets killed by the higher-ups of the Rome because he's gotten too much power as a Roman leader. Watch. That's what's gonna fucking happen. He's gonna be betrayed by Rome. It's gonna be so sad. Maybe not. I'm hoping he won't be, but, you know, just knowing how Rome tends to Rome things. Aw, fuck! I'm right? No!
But, as every emperor knows, the history of the empire has been blighted time and again by the treachery of overmighty generals. Belisarius's victories are as glorious as any in Rome's history. How can Justinian not regard him with suspicion?
Bro. Dude. Belisarius has kicked so much fucking ass before this. He does not deserve to be done dirty.
In 538, Italy's largest and most prosperous city is not Rome or Ravenna, but Milan, to the Romans, Mediolanum. Its citizens wish to be reunited with the empire.
Jealousy, like, of him being a really good general, or, like, was there other jealousy kind of involved?
Bishop of Milan's request, Belisarius sends a small force to aid them. They defeat local Goth forces at Ticinum and enter Milan in triumph.
Damn.
But in central Italy, Belisarius faces a dilemma. One of his best generals.
Oh, so people were, like, talking more about him than they were talking about the emperor and shit?
Generals, John, nephew of Vitalian, has taken Ariminum with 2,000 elite cavalry. Now King Vitiges and the Ostrogoth army is marching from Rome and will soon trap him in the city. Belisarius orders 2 trusted officers to get there first with infantry reinforcements.
Yeah, try to get there as quick as you can, bro.
They are to swap places with John and his valuable cavalry, freeing them up for mobile operations. But when the reinforcements arrive at Ariminum, John refuses to obey Belisarius's orders. Instead, he adds the infantry to his own force.
John!
And prepares to hold the city.
You ass fuck.
Within days, John is cut off and under siege.
Yeah, now you're fucked, John.
The Goths make their first assault with a giant siege tower. In heavy fighting, the Romans beat...
Hey, yeah, guys, I have cavalry here. I totally am gonna need my cavalry while I'm fighting on a siege wall. My horses, they love this small, narrow space on top of a wall. It's so good. Ugh.
Like, this made sense. They're asking for cavalry. They're not asking for your fucking infantrymen. And they sent you infantrymen to swap. Am I stupid here? Am I being a fucking moron? And, like, you have nowhere to fucking go. You're gonna be sieged. What are you gonna do with them? I'm sorry. I'm pissed at that.
In heavy fighting, the Romans beat them back. But John does not have enough supplies to hold out.
My bro doesn't even have enough supplies. He added more troops to his defense when he didn't have enough supplies for his current troops. He needed the fucking...
For long.
He fucked himself.
John's insubordination puts Belisarius's entire campaign in peril. He will lose some of his best troops if Ariminum falls. But a dash north risks leaving several strong Goth garrisons in his rear, including 10,000 experienced Goth warriors at Auximum. Belisarius's advance meets with early success, as the Goths at Tudera and Clusium surrender without a fight. As he ponders his next move, news arrives that 7,000 Roman reinforcements have landed near Firmium. Belisarius marches to join them and meet with their commander, one of the most powerful men in the Empire, Narses the Eunuch.
Narses the Eunuch? I've never heard of this fucker.
Narses, Praepositus Sacri...
Narses is a bitch? Listen, I don't want to talk shit on eunuchs because it's unfortunate what happened to them. But, if you ain't got a cock...
Cubiculi, Grand Chamberlain of the Palace, is Justinian's closest advisor. As a eunuch, he can pose no dynastic threat to the emperor, and so is entrusted with enormous power and influence. Narses had distinguished himself during the Nika riots, bribing sections of the mob to switch sides.
Oh, I fucking hated you.
While Belisarius and Mundus had dealt
more
directly with the West.
One? Or Ulrich the... Okay,
Belisarius has military command in Italy, but he cannot simply issue orders to someone as important as Narses.
I don't like Sigismund, but...
So he convenes a council of war, seeking agreement on the way forward. Belisarius's officers argue that John has only himself to blame for his fate. They should not risk the army to save him. But Narses is close to John and thinks differently. If John treated your orders with insolence, most excellent Belisarius, he has already been punished enough.
He has already been punished enough? Bro. His punishment is that he fucked the entire campaign? No. He needs to be fucking, like, stripped of his rank, fucking sent across the sea to be a farmer for the rest of his life or some shit.
Since it is now in your power to either save or abandon him to the enemy. But you must ensure that neither we nor the Emperor are also punished for his mistakes.
Hey, I know he fucked up real bad, but you gotta make sure it's not. We don't have to suffer, even though he's such a shithead.
Fuck you, dude.
For if the Goths capture Ariminum, it will be their good fortune to capture a capable Roman general, as well as an army and city subject to the Emperor. And the disaster will not stop there, but will affect the entire fortune of the war. As the council meets, a message arrives from John. His men are starving, and unless relieved, he must surrender in 7 days. It is agreed that an attempt must be made to rescue John and his troops. In an elaborate operation, 1,000 troops are left to cover the Goth garrison at Auximum. One force will advance straight up the coastal road. Another force will move up by sea, threatening an amphibious landing, while Belisarius and Narses march inland and approach from the west. The plan works perfectly. Viticus receives reports of Roman forces closing in from all directions.
Damn.
Fearing encirclement, he abandons the siege and hurriedly withdraws to his capital, Ravenna. But despite their success, all is not well in the Roman camp. When Belisarius invites John to thank those who've come to his rescue, John announces that his only debt is to Narses.
What?
His
Are you fucking me, dude? You fuck up, betray a direct fucking command, steal troops, need his assistance to save your ass, and then you say it's for... Go fuck yourself, John. John the Slutimus Prime.
Words fuel the growing distrust between Belisarius and Narses. In the words of Procopius, historian and eyewitness, from that time on, these two men began to regard each other with great suspicion.
Yeah, no shit they would.
The chain of command among Eastern Roman generals is not always clear, and is rarely set in stone. Referring decisions back to the Emperor takes months, so a general's authority may often rest on his ability to win over his senior officers. It's possible Justinian encourages such a system to hinder overmighty generals who attempted to challenge his rule. Is this why he has sent Narses to Italy? To clip the wings of Belisarius?
It makes sense if he did, but...
We don't know. But for the war in Italy, the consequences of this system will soon lead to catastrophe. John and other discontented officers begin to encourage Narses to oppose Belisarius. It is beneath his dignity, they tell him, to take orders from a mere general.
Really, you fuckheads?
When Belisarius...
Hey, it's beneath our honor to do our job right and not be little bitches.
reveals his plan to methodically eliminate the Goth strongholds in central Italy prior to an advance on Ravenna, Narses objects. The strategy is too cautious. Instead, Narses proposes an immediate advance into Emilia to seize more territory from the Goths. In frustration, Belisarius produces a letter from the Emperor. We have not sent our steward Narses to Italy in order to command the army. We wish Belisarius alone to command the whole army in whatever manner seems best to him. It is the duty of all to obey him in the interest of our republic. To which Narses replies, your strategy is not in
oh
the
my
interest
fucking
of
god,
the republic.
Narses, you asshole!
The army splits.
The letter literally says, it is the duty of all to obey him for the Republic. And he says,
to which
oh yeah, basically, you're not doing it in the interest of the Republic, so the letter doesn't count. Even though the letter says we gotta obey you because for the Republic, you're not really for the Republic. Dude, I cannot believe people fucking fall for this bullcrap. It's just elite assholes who don't want to do anything and want to... fuck.
Narses replies, your strategy is not in the interest of the Republic. The army splits into two factions, each pursuing its own strategy, a potentially disastrous situation. But fortunately for the Romans, one which Witigis in Ravenna fails to exploit. Belisarius is able to take Urbino when its well unexpectedly fails.
It's well?
Narses
Oh,
sends John to capture Forum Cornelii in Emilia. But
close enough for
in the
water.
north, a storm is brewing.
Okay, why did they bring up the well thing if they just
This
move
city
on?
of Milan
Okay, whatever.
far surpasses all the cities of Italy in size and population and every other sort of
Was
prosperity.
Milan always so big? I
This
didn't know
city,
that.
I say, has fallen into great danger. The urgency of the moment
I was
does not
never
allow me
quite
to
so
use many
informed about
words. But you, I say, must defend the people of Milan in their peril with all possible speed. If you hesitate to come to us in the present crisis, the result will be that we will perish after suffering the most cruel fate possible.
Damn.
539 AD. Milan is held by just 300 Roman troops and its citizen militia. The Goths have reacted
That's it? They
swiftly
have-
to
wait.
its loss, and the city
You're telling me Milan, the most populated super city, just only has 300 militia? That feels like kind of a big oversight. I don't know.
is now besieged by Uraeus, the king's nephew. He is supported by a huge force of Burgundians, sent by Theodebert, king of the Franks, a Goth ally, though how far he can be trusted is anyone's
You're 2
guess.
feet away, even though there's a mountain.
By
Like,
winter,
shit.
Milan is starving. Its people are eating mice and dogs.
Aw, not the
Belisarius,
dogs.
besieging Ervivento, orders a force to march to the city's aid. But when its commanders learn of the size of the Burgundian force, they halt at the River Po and refuse to go further without support from John and his troops in Emilia. By now, John only obeys orders
Oh,
from
John,
Narses.
you fucking
By the
bitch.
time Belisarius has written to Narses and persuaded him of the urgency of the situation, it is too late. The garrison of Milan ignore their commander's plea to die like heroes and negotiate their own surrender, abandoning the civilians to their fate.
Oh,
Goths and
fuck.
Burgundians slaughter every male they can find
Oh,
in the city.
fuck.
women and children are given to the Burgundians as slaves. One of the greatest cities in Italy is plundered
Wait,
and razed to the ground.
so the fucking Roman, like the guards just, they fucked off? The 300 of them are like, yeah, we're gonna let the rest of the city get fucking raped and murdered? Like, I don't, did they let the guard off really, or did they kill them after this? I feel like they would still kill them.
The destruction of Milan is the direct consequence of a fatally divided Roman high command.
Shit.
Shocked into action, Justinian recalls
Yeah,
Narses to
Justinian, you
Constantinople.
fucked yourself in the ass.
Belisarius once
Because
more
you're so
has
scared of
sole
Belisarius
undisputed
being his
command
big
in Italy.
dick self.
The northern part of the country has
Let
now
him do
been
his job,
ravaged by
fucking
2
idiot.
years of war, in which time no harvests are gathered. Vitiges cannot campaign without supplies and remains in Ravenna. Roman forces can be supplied by sea with grain from Sicily and the south. But in the countryside, Italian peasants begin to starve. I will now tell of the appearance they acquired and how they died, for I was an eyewitness.
Man,
All of them
it's all
first
about-
became lean and pale, for the flesh, lacking nourishment, turned on itself, to use the old expression.
Uh-oh.
As the evil developed, all moisture left them, and the skin became so dry that it resembled leather more than anything else. They changed from a livid to a black color, whereupon they came to resemble burned-up torches. Their faces always wore an expression of amazement and a dreadful sort of insane stare. Procopius estimates that famine claims 50,000 lives in Picenum alone,
Holy
with bodies
50,000.
left unburied,
That's bigger than the fucking
and rumors
armies.
of cannibalism.
Yeah, rumors of cannibalism? Dude, I would not be surprised. Like, at that point, there's more dead bodies around you of your own fucking friends and family than there is, like, anything else to eat. Like, that's fucking depressing to say, but fuck. With 50,000 dead in just that area. Oh, fuck.
When King Theodebert himself suddenly leads a great
Excuse me.
Frankish army into northern Italy, attacking Goths and Romans alike, he finds he has entered a wasteland. His army...
Dude, imagine... whoops. Imagine you're like, yeah, guys, let's go to war to fuck up these losers and take everything from them. And then you just arrive and everything is already just so fucked. You have to turn around. His army is like, wow, there's so little here. We have to fucking just dip. It reminds me of this one meme or one thing I saw of a guy who's like, yeah, I was getting robbed, and the guy looked around my apartment and said, is this everything you have? And I'm like, yeah, this is it. And he says, wow, you're too broke for me to rob you. And he came back with fucking furniture for the guy. Like, imagine that. You're so fucking broke that a guy gives you shit when he came to rob you. Like, this is what's fucking happening here, basically.
able to find supplies and decimated by disease and dysentery, quickly withdraws.
Yeah, it's even worse. He shows up, basically gets disease, and has to shit himself all the fucking time. And gets disease because of the shits. And like, oh, dude, what a fucking...
Back across the Alps. The war grinds on as Belisarius besieges the Goth strongholds at Faesulae and Auximum. Auximum is impregnable. Only starvation will force the Goths to give up. Skirmishes are fought in the surrounding hills, as each side ambushes the enemy's foraging parties. Belisarius is amazed by the Goths' determination. Eventually, he learns from a prisoner that one of his own men has been passing messages from Vitiges to the garrison, promising help, urging them to hold out a little longer.
Oh shit, dude.
Belisarius arrests the traitor.
Yeah, obviously you
and
fucking
sends
have
him
to
back
arrest
to
the
his
traitor.
unit for them to punish as they see fit.
That's it?
They
What?
burn him alive.
Oh,
In full
okay, that
view
is...
of the enemy.
Ooh, okay. I was like, they see fit, that's it? I mean, how bad are they gonna do it? It's like, they burn him alive in front of the enemy. Yeah, alright, that's a punishment. I'll take it back.
The garrisons of Faesulae, then Auximum, are finally starved into surrender.
Shit.
Belisarius grants them both generous terms.
Wow, really?
Then, with his rear secure, he begins
You know,
his...
Belisarius, like, despite being a very skilled general, also is very smart politically. You know, so it's very refreshing to see he understands kind of what's going on, the mindset of people, what to do based on that, instead of just saying, oh, tactic here, schmank with sword, haha.
Advance on Ravenna. Reinforcements from Dalmatia approach from the north.
Wow, and
Ravenna is protected by a lagoon, marshes, and shoals along the...
Wow, lagoon, marshes, and shoals? Shit, you gotta get around fucking half the goddamn nature. Half the goddamn nature? I don't, that's a proper sentence. Half of goddamn nature. There we go. That makes more sense.
Coast. Parts of its 9-meter-high brick curtain wall can still be seen today, incorporated into later Venetian fortifications. It is strongly held. But the Roman noose is tightening. A vital grain shipment along the Po River is intercepted.
Damn.
A mysterious fire breaks out in the city's granary. The Goth king puts much hope in his nephew.
You mean some
Uraeus,
fucker decided to go light it
with a
on
relief
fire?
Force of 4,000 men.
Oh, that's not
But
enough.
when the troops learn that their own strongholds have gone over to the Romans, they leave for home. In despair, Vitiges agrees to open
Yeah,
negotiations.
Vitiges, you've been kind of in shit position for a while,
Imperial
bro.
envoys arrive from Constantinople, but the treaty they offer to Vitiges is so generous that Belisarius refuses to sign it,
what?
believing he's on the cusp of...
Wait. So, you guys have the agreement. He's basically surrendering, but his surrender terms are just not brutal enough? What the fuck did they say? Did they say that he gets to fucking keep all his lands and all his people or some shit? I highly doubt it. Like, what was so generous in the terms that this general couldn't accept the victory this way? Shit, dude.
complete victory. Without Belisarius's endorsement, the Goths also regard the treaty with suspicion.
Really? I remember them being
Side-
very generous. Like,
Signing
We'll
King
see what
Vitiges, Goth nobles send their own delegation to Belisarius with a secret offer to make him Emperor of the West.
Wow.
He will guarantee their security. Belisarius swears only that no harm will come to the Goths.
yeah, here's the thing. Honestly, if they all surrendered, Belisarius would give very generous terms. From what we could see of him, he's an honorable man. He believes in God. He's like, hey, don't kill people when you don't fucking have to, you know? I think if they just fucking surrendered, they would be fine.
If they surrender. An oath to rule over the Goths he will swear later, before Vitiges himself. The Goth delegation is satisfied. What man would turn down the offer of a crown? The gates of the city are opened, and Belisarius marches into Ravenna at the head of his troops. He ensures grain arrives in the city quickly. Then
good
he
to have
tells the
grain.
Goth warriors, who outnumber the Romans, to disperse back to their homes. There is no plundering of private property, and no violence.
See? Look at this shit.
Belisarius has triumphed.
Belisarius is like, listen, he's the ideal general to go up against, right? He is noble, he is honorable, he is wise. Like, shit, you're gonna lose, but he's not gonna fucking, like, you know, ransack your city.
But it will soon emerge he is not playing straight with the Goths.
Uh-oh.
While I watched the entry
might
of
be
the
wrong
Roman
right
army into Ravenna at that time, it occurred to me that the outcome of events is determined not by the wisdom of men, nor any other virtue on their part, but that there is some supernatural power that is ever warping their intentions, and leading them in such a way that nothing will hinder that which is being brought to pass. For though the Goths were greatly superior to their enemy in number and power, and had neither lost a great battle nor been humbled by any other disaster, still they were made captives by the weaker army, and regarded the name of slavery as no insult. The days
Really?
pass.
Slavery? It's
The
not
Goths
okay.
await an announcement from Belisarius that he will crown himself Emperor of the West and rule over them. it never comes.
Yeah, because he's loyal.
Belisarius has no intention of betraying the Emperor. He's allowed the Goths to think that he'll accept their offer, only to end the war as swiftly as possible. The Goths begin to feel they've been tricked, betrayed even. Suspicions which are confirmed when Belisarius is recalled to Constantinople. He leaves with the Goth treasury and his prisoners, including Vitiges. Belisarius's rivals ensure that Justinian hears all about the Goths' offer of an imperial throne. But for the moment, the Emperor faces a far greater concern.
What? What is the Emperor concerned about?
One of Vitiges' last acts as king had been to send 2 secret agents to the court of King Khosrow in far-off Persia, with a plea for aid against their shared enemy,
Fuck
the Eastern
off,
Roman Empire.
dude.
Khosrow needs no encouragement.
Yeah, he's already always
He's
in
been
the mood to
watching
fucking go
as
to
Justinian
war.
strips his eastern frontier
It
of
could have been
troops
some
for
fucking
his
lady
wars
just
in the
been
west.
dancing and like she shows
Now,
ankle would have been
Sasanian
enough for this
armies are
fucker to
on the
invade.
march. His huge army marches along the banks of the Euphrates River.
He's got a huge army, but a tiny
Sura
top.
falls before them. Hierapolis is ransomed for 2,000 pounds of silver.
Yeah, dude, the Byzantine has always been
Berea
fucking, they're
burns.
always ready to fucking throw hands for no reason. They're like, oh, how can we kill the most number of women and children today? Let's go to war again. Woo! Well, fucking hell.
Then, to the horror of all Romans, Khosrow takes Antioch, second city of the empire, the Roman capital of the Near East. The city burns. Soldiers flee. Civilians are massacred.
Oh, they
The
need
historian
to really,
Procopius writes,
Man, Procopius
I
is the
become
only
dizzy
fucking
as I
historian
write
here,
about such a
goddamn.
great calamity and transmit it to future times to remember. I cannot understand why it should be God's will to exalt the fortunes of a man or place and then to obliterate them for no cause that is apparent to us. After years of victories, Justinian's empire is rocked by this devastating onslaught. The emperor can send only his cousin Germanus and 300 soldiers.
Wait, that's it?
With a promise of a
Wait, what
great
about,
army to follow. But there is no
where's-
great army. Roman forces are tied down fighting Justinian's wars in the west.
Oh, so I guess even though the general's been recalled, all the forces are still all the way fucking on the far side, taking control of Italy and Rome. Ah, shit, dude. Well, that's bad. Because, like, as good as a general is, there's not a lot he could do without his army. Yikes.
Instead, he will dispatch his greatest general, Belisarius, and pray
Yeah, but you
for
don't have
a
an army,
miracle.
dude. You just have
Little knowing
Belisarius.
that the Empire is about to be plunged into an even greater catastrophe, unlike anything the world has ever seen before.
Fuck. War and plague. The plague? Oh, fuck. Is this when the plague hit? This is the, what year was this?
And
Justinian's
pray
plague.
for a miracle. Little knowing.
Oh, it didn't say the date. Hold up. I'm gonna take a... That's not the... This ain't the Black Plague. That comes later. Isn't this like 400... like DC, AD, or whatever. Isn't this right when the Black Plague happens? Or is this BC, not AD? I thought this was AD. No? Yeah, I'm pretty certain the Black Plague happened like around the fucking 400s, no? Did it happen later? Don't ... me, you man slut. Hold up, I'm Googling this. This AD, but Black comes like 1,000 years. Oh, it's 1400s where it happened, not the 400s. I'm being silly. Wait, was it really the 1400s? I thought it was the... Black Plague. Oh, yeah, nope. 1350. Okay. Whoops. Not what I'm thinking.
Trouble had been
Actually, hold up. I'm gonna take a fiver. A oneer. A halfer. Fucking, I don't know her. Well, I'm trying to move this. Be right back. There we go. Hold up. Give me 4 seconds, dude. Sorry about that. I am back now. I had to hit the cam for a second. Oh, you hit me with the lore. Let's see. In the Black Plague, 200 million people died, but in the Justinian Plague, 100 million. Oh, only 100 million. Oh, that's nothing. It's only 100 million. And at the time of the world's population, 100 million totally wasn't any kind of large amount. Yeah. Yeah, only 100,000. Only 100 million, sorry. But totally didn't fucking, like, reset the entire Earth's carbon level because of how much fucking people died. Jesus, 100 million at this time period, dude? Fuck.
Eastern frontier for years. The Eastern Roman and Sassanid empires, the two great powers of the Middle East, had signed a treaty of eternal peace just 8 years before. But Khosrow had looked on with growing alarm as Roman forces led by Belisarius had reconquered first North Africa, then Italy. Half in jest, Khosrow asks Justinian for his share of the tribute, since these victories are only possible because he's granted the Romans peace. But the joke is wearing thin. Khosrow receives envoys from the Goths in Italy and the Armenians, who beg him for aid. Justinian, they tell him, has conceived the desire of seizing the entire earth. He will march against the Persians with those he has already enslaved, respecting neither the name of friendship nor any of his sworn promises. In 540, Khosrow accuses the Eastern Emperor of paying Huns to raid Persian land and trying to bribe his Arab allies to switch sides. Then he attacks. Justinian has stripped the frontier of its best troops to reinforce his army in Italy. There is no Roman force that can stand up to Khosrow's invasion. Antioch is sacked. Survivors are enslaved and sent to Persia. Khosrow then marches to the coast and symbolically bathes in the waters of the Mediterranean. He moves on
Symbolically
to
bathes?
Apamea,
If you
where
get
he
into the
demands
waters
a
of the Mediterranean, you're taking an actual fucking bath. Half a constant. Excuse me.
£1,000 of silver, but lets the priests keep their piece of the true cross. He then fixes the local chariot race, so that Justinian's favourite team, the Blues, lose. Justinian agrees to pay Khosrow £5,000 of gold, with 500 more to be paid annually, in exchange for a truce. Satisfied, Khosrow sets off for home. However, he does not let the truce prevent him from extorting several more payments en route. It is the Eastern Roman Empire's greatest military humiliation in 3 centuries. Everyone was talking about Belisarius. He was credited with 2 victories such as never before fallen to the lot of one man. He had brought 2 kings captive to Constantinople, and beyond all expectation had made Roman spoils of the nations and wealth of Geseric and Theodoric. In the Eastern Roman capital, Belisarius has been welcomed back from Italy as a hero.
No shit he should be, dude. He should
He
always
and his
be fucking
entourage
recognized
draw
as a
admiring
hero.
crowds
He's been
wherever
fucking
they
dragging
go.
his ass and tits
But
through
he
the
does
fucking
not
mud
have
for
long
everyone.
to enjoy his success. In early 541, Justinian sends Belisarius east to take command of Roman forces in Syria and ensure there is no repeat of the previous year's disaster. Belisarius' wife, Antonina, has accompanied him on previous campaigns.
Dude, his wife, Belisarius' wife, actually is a fucking goat. She's fucking got bigger balls than some of the men in the fucking goddamn Roman goddamn leadership. They call it the Senate still? In Eastern? Or I don't know. She's got a bigger fucking cock and balls than them.
To North Africa and Italy and proved herself a valuable advisor and deputy. But this time, she remains in Constantinople to advise her friend and patron, Empress Theodora. Belisarius gathers all available forces at Dara, site of his great victory 11 years before. He has his own household troops, the elite Bucellari.
Oh my god, stop
Ostrogoths
blazing the
who joined him in
Bucellari!
Rome's Hassanid Arab allies, led by Al-Harith, and several thousand Limitani, the empire's frontier
Oh,
troops.
that's a lot of
Procopius
boys.
does not tell us the size of these forces, so we can only make educated guesses based on circumstances.
The Belisarius doesn't. Really? He doesn't? He's had a lot of success so far. I don't know. I'm surprised you're telling me he's not gonna be doing good. Just doesn't sound right.
Substantial evidence. Local Roman forces are shaken by the events of the previous year. Belisarius spends several weeks reorganizing these men, re-equipping them, and rebuilding their shattered morale.
There you go. See, he does what he's supposed
When
to do.
Belisarius learns that Khosrow and the main Persian army are far away in the north, campaigning in Lazica,
I'll kick their
he
ass.
decides to go on the offensive
He
and
does get
targets the Persian
some.
city
Okay.
of Nisibis.
Just tell me, is he gonna be super fucked this entire campaign we watch? Because I've now committed an hour and a half of my life to watching Belisarius be cool. If you're telling me the last 45 minutes of him... Oh, when you say the East, you don't mean Persia East. You mean, like, East. Or... What do you mean? What do you mean? Do. Oh, no, that's how the song goes. Hold on. I'm thinking of a different song. Well, just forget. Oh, you fuckhead.
This fortified frontier city is too strong to assault directly, but Belisarius hopes the garrison can be lured out and defeated in battle, allowing his troops to rush into the city, mingled with the retreating enemy.
Yeah, because they're totally just gonna go out of the fucking fortified walls.
Belisarius camps 5 miles from Nisibis, close enough to tempt the Persians to attack, but far enough that they can't easily retreat back to the city. But one Roman commander, Peter, camps far too close. Worse, he ignores Belisarius' warning to be on high alert at noon,
Peter, why would you
when
do
the
that? You're
Persians
not
are most
even
likely
near
to
your
strike.
buddies.
The Persian commander, Nabides, spots this isolated Roman force and attacks.
Obviously, they wouldn't be stupid fucking not to.
Peter immediately sends a rider to
Help
Belisarius,
me,
calling
help
for
me,
aid.
I fucked up, guys.
But
Guys, I sat on a fucking rattlesnake and it bit me. Oh no, please help me. I know you told me it'd be bad to sit on the rattlesnake, but I had to sit on it.
You fucking idiots. Like, I feel like half of war is just watching one moron fuck up really badly and ruin everything for everyone else. Like, even remember Alexis, the fucking Greek dickhead? No, not Greek. Yeah, he was the Greek emperor. Like, you tell me he was Mr. Experience, but he's like, they're just gonna charge in a straight line. Like, and then these fuckers are like, oh, we'll just camp sooner. Or with the French battle of the fucking golden shears, golden steers, whatever. Yeah, he did kind of sell. Kind of? Yeah, golden spurs, right? All these fuckheads just sell. Like, no reason. They just be stupid. They turn their brains off. And they're like, like, fuck.
Belisarius and the rest of the army have already seen what's happening and are on their way. Before they can reach Peter, his force is hit by the Persian cavalry. After a brief fight, his troops scatter. 50 men are killed. A Roman standard is lost. When Belisarius arrives with reinforcements, he drives off the Persians, who retreat into the city, leaving behind more than 100 dead. But the loss of a Roman standard in such a pointless skirmish is a bitter blow.
Damn.
Belisarius marches on to the Persian fort at Caesarion. His first attack is repelled.
Really?
He digs in for a siege, while ordering Al-Harith's Arabs and 1,200 Bukhari to cross the Tigris River and raid deep into Assyria.
That feels risky.
It has been many years since the Romans have raided this far into Persian territory. There is little resistance and much plunder.
Oh, never mind. Okay, I take back my word. A good shit, Roman army.
Caesarion runs out of food and surrenders to Belisarius. But the Roman general has run out of time. His troops are exhausted by the extreme summer heat, and a third are sick.
Yeah, you guys have just spent
His
the whole fucking time
Limitani wish to return to their homes,
heat.
now threatened by the start of the Arab raiding season.
Oh my god.
While Al-Harith and his men have gone AWOL. It later emerges they've ridden straight home to avoid sharing their loot with the Romans. Belisarius, having achieved as much as he can with his limited force, withdraws back into Roman territory.
I would leave so I don't have to share either.
At the opening of spring, Khosrow, son of Kavad, for the third time began an invasion into the land of the Romans with a large army, keeping the Euphrates River on the right. The Emperor Justinian, upon learning of the inroad of the Persians, sent Belisarius against them once more.
Damn, Justinian's like,
542
fuck,
AD.
I fucking hate this
Belisarius
guy.
spends the winter in Constantinople, but in early spring, news arrives that Khosrow is preparing to invade again. Belisarius races back to the Eastern Front, using horses of the famous Cursus Publicus, the Roman postal service, with fresh remounts at every stage. A journey that normally takes a month can be completed in around 8 days. Local commanders warn that Khosrow is approaching with the biggest army yet. They want to hole up in Hierapolis and hide behind its strong walls. Belisarius has a different plan. If Khosrow were attacking any other people but Romans, this plan of yours would be safe and sensible. But as immediately after leaving here, this barbarian plans to fall upon some other territory of the Emperor, be assured that to die bravely would be better in every way than to be saved without a fight.
Damn.
For this would justly be called not salvation, but treason.
I don't know
So
about
come
that.
as quickly
Okay,
as
Niksu, I want
to
your
be
opinion on
saved
that.
without
Hold
a
up.
fight.
Be assured that to die bravely would be better than to be saved without a fight. Like, I don't know. Imagine you're fucking... okay, let me give you an example, at least that I think feels pretty relevant. And maybe I'm just being an asshat, but your house is on fire. Are you gonna fight the fire when you might die? Or perhaps you could lay low, stay in an area that's gonna be more fireproof, like your bathroom or some shit, or your bathtub, and wait for the firemen to come. I don't know. Like, I think they mean if they hide, the Persians are gonna... No, I totally agree with that, right? Well, but okay, the Persians are a problem, but so are everyone's a problem for the fucking Eastern Roman Empire. They have fucking everyone attacking them every 2 seconds. At least they don't have a fucking rebellion every 2 minutes to deal with, but shit, dude. I don't know. Right? Like, Khosrow just keeps doing shit and being threatening, so like you do kind of have to take care of him, but also at the same time, like, I don't know. It's complicated in my opinion. And I don't know.
So come as quickly as possible to Europos, where, after collecting the whole army, I hope to deal with the enemy as God permits.
Damn, that's pretty fucking badass. Also, I think I might have to call it here. I am feeling oddly sleepy. Maybe only a couple more minutes, but let's see. Is there a next section coming up soon? Shit, is this whole last thing just still the same section? I'm kind of feeling a goddamn nap, brother. Oh, I need a fucking, I don't know. Take a nap during lunchtime or some shit if I want to be staying up this late.
Khosrow is counting on another lucrative plundering expedition.
No naps? What do you mean no naps, you fuckhead? What am I supposed to do, stay awake all night?
This time he plans to raid Palestine and pillage Jerusalem.
Palestine? Oh shit, hold on. We're not
But when
supposed
he
to talk
hears
about that.
Belisarius himself has arrived and is gathering a Roman army
It's joke,
at
it's joke. I know this is
Europos,
historical.
he hesitates.
It's just funny.
He sends an envoy, Abandanes, to meet Belisarius on the pretext of reopening negotiations, but really to gauge his strength. For almost the first time in 10 years, Procopius is not at Belisarius' side. He has remained in Constantinople. In fact, his days of campaigning with the great Roman general are over. Nonetheless, he provides a detailed description of what follows. Belisarius meets Khosrow's envoy far from the Roman camp, surrounded by an imposing number of his most fearsome warriors, including Thracians, Illyrians, Goths, and Vandals.
Okay, he's got a little bit of everyone.
They have been hand-picked to make an impression. All are tall, strongly built men, armed to the teeth, and seem completely unconcerned by the arrival of a Persian envoy. Belisarius himself speaks in a carefree manner. This course that Khosrow has chosen is not how men usually behave. If other men have a dispute with their neighbor, they first try to negotiate with him, and only go to war if they do not receive satisfaction. But he first comes into the midst of the Romans, and then makes suggestions about peace. With that, Belisarius dismisses the envoy.
Attaboy, Belisarius.
The envoy returns to Khosrow and urges the king to avoid battle at all costs. The enemy are not like any men he's seen before. They are formidable and disciplined. Their commander is wise and imposing. The king should withdraw as soon as possible.
Oh, 100%. Get fucked by Belisarius. Get the fuck out of there,
Khosrow
dude.
takes his advice.
Fucked. Wait,
Persian
what?
army
Really?
crosses the Euphrates and marches home.
They just go home? No
Belisarius
fucking way.
appears to have bluffed a stronger enemy into retreat.
Wait a
Saved
no
huge swathes of the
fucking
empire
way.
from plunder and pillage. According to Procopius,
He just fucking waved his dick out. He's like, yo, my men, they're big. My cock, it's big. My wisdom, my brain, it's big. You better give the fuck up, bitch. And they just gave the fuck up. They just fucking turned around and fucked off. Yeah, exactly. That's basically what they did. They put their biggest fucking dicked men out there, and they're like, yo, fuck you guys. Don't even fucking try it. This is the great states of fucking Rome. Which is ironic because they all wanted tiny penises because they made them intellectual and that big penis were barbarians. But, you know, in this case, they would need the big penis of the barbarians to be strong. I don't know. I'm being stupid now.
the Romans praised Belisarius. He seems to have achieved greater glory in their eyes by this feat than when he brought Gelimer or Vitiges captive to Constantinople. In truth, it was an achievement of great importance and deserving great praise, at a time when all the Romans were hiding in terror behind their defenses. Belisarius and his Bucalari, putting on a show that is so intimidating and deceptive that the Persian king abandons his campaign.
Oh, fuck the Bucalari.
It's a famous and memorable scene.
I get it, it's cool,
But
can
did
you
it
stop
ever
glazing
happen?
them?
Many historians believe that something even more terrifying caused Khosrow's rapid withdrawal.
What, did they...
He'd discovered the empire was riddled with plague.
Oh.
During these times, there was a pestilence, which
So they
came close to
realized there was a
wiping out the
pestilence, and
whole
they're
of
like,
mankind.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
Now, in the case of all other scourges sent from heaven, some explanation or cause might be given by daring men. But for this calamity, it is quite impossible either to express in words or to conceive in thought any explanation.
What?
Except, indeed, to refer it to God.
Oh, whoa. Propicus has been giving us all of this fucking history. Do not fucking call him a bum historian, you dickwad. How else would I know about all this shit? If you're the fucking bum-ass, random-ass, loser bitch boy. Don't hate on my boy Propicus. Propicus. Oh, you didn't mean him. I'm so sorry. I take back my I take back my words of insult. For now. But they are in reserve in case I ever need them. You know, they're just sitting there.
The 6th century world is full of strange and mysterious phenomena. Sometimes even a highly educated man like Procopius can only record his observations and trust in God. Of the year 536, he wrote, "It came about during this year that a most dread portent took place. The whole year the sun gave forth its light without brightness, like the moon, and it seemed much like an eclipse, for its beams were not clear, nor like those it usually makes. From the time when this thing happened, men were free neither from war, nor pestilence, nor any other thing that brings death."
Wow, so they're basically saying, hey, it was fucking disaster time.
Experts now believe Procopius was observing the atmospheric aftermath of a massive volcanic eruption.
That makes sense.
In fact, a cluster of volcanic activity around this date would help to trigger what's become known as the Late Antique Little Ice Age.
Oh god, Little Ice Age. When I hear Little Ice Age, I think of Little Dark Age, which is this fucking song. It's like, bringing in the night, and then it goes. It's pretty catchy, actually. It's like, policeman, I swear to God, I'm living in a I don't know. I wish I could sing. That'd be pretty cool. I can sing, but I can't sing well, I guess is what I should say. I wish I could sing well.
Its impact is impossible to measure, but it may have contributed to food shortages and worsened the famine that Procopius witnessed in Italy. Such shortages made the population weaker and more vulnerable to what came next. It originated among the Egyptians who live in Pelusium. From there it branched out in 2 directions. The first moving to Alexandria and then the rest of Egypt. The second coming to the Palestinians who live by the border of Egypt. Plague is first recorded in the Nile Delta in 541. It spreads across Egypt and into coastal Palestine. In spring 542, it reaches the imperial capital, Constantinople. It spreads rapidly across the empire. In 543, plague reaches Persian-ruled Armenia and the Kingdom of the Franks. Recently, plague victims have even been identified in Anglo-Saxon England. Procopius is in Constantinople when the plague strikes with full, terrifying force. They fell ill in the following way. Suddenly they became feverish. Some of them when they rose from sleep, others while they walked about or doing any small thing. The body did not change color or become warm like a regular fever, nor did it burn up. Rather, at first, the fever was so mild that it gave no cause for alarm, either to victims or the doctors who treated them. But then on the same day or the next, a bubonic swelling appeared.
God, that's...
This happened around the groin, also
groin?
inside the
armpit,
dude,
imagine fucking having
by
that on
the
your
ear.
dick. That'd be horrible. Also, I am way too tired to continue commentary. So, Niksu, I'd like to thank you for joining me. I'd like to thank anyone else who's joined me for this stream. We'll go ahead and finish this up next time. Don't worry. I'll keep this open, and we'll finish it tomorrow. Oh my... Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. I got normal sleeping hours unlike you, brother. I got work at 8 a.m. unlike you, brother. I gotta go bed. I gotta go me's and have the fucking sheep jump over my goddamn head. I don't ever actually count sheep, but you know, if I did, so suck it, deal with it. I do apologize a little bit, but I'm tired. Yeah, maybe expect probably around 11, 10, sometime around that time. My goal is to try streaming more consistently around that time. At least for a couple hours every evening. Probably not as late, so I probably won't go until like 4 or 5 a.m. But you should see more streams in general for just like 2 or 3 hours. So that's kind of my goal. Just, and then obviously on the weekend, you know, I'll have my logger streams when I'm not out doing shit. Yeah, expect around 11 p.m. tomorrow. That's kind of my goal. And then we'll finish up this, and then we'll play some KDC 2. That'll be the stream goal tomorrow. So we got, I decided to cut it here because this will leave just the perfect amount of time. This will leave like 25 minutes worth of cool at. How about a short vid in this? 20-minute or less video and this. But I can do that. I want to get some KDC into tomorrow because any video, like, we're only an hour and 40 minutes in and we've been streaming for 2.5. So, you know, anything I watch almost doubles in time. So I gotta take that into account if I want to get some KDC 2 time in. So short video, 20 minutes or less, and I'll add that on top of this. If you got like one of those 12-minute videos, that'd be perfect. Mwah! But you know, thank you for joining me. I know you're busy with other shit. Let me rephrase that. I assume you're busy with other shit. I don't actually know. But yeah, it's always nice to have you answer my questions when I watch these history videos. I do appreciate it. Is 24 minutes good? Yeah, I could do 24 minutes. It's 50 minutes in total of viewing potential. We'll call that good. But yeah. Anyway, hope you do whatever the fuck you do well, you fuckhead. I'll see you tomorrow to ask some more questions. Oh, thank you for this. Thank you for saying that. You know, I like it how I switch between insulting you and saying nice things and then calling you a fuckhead. It's not intentional, just how I am. But I'll catch you on the flip side, brother. And take care, alright? And anyone else who's watching, if there is anyone else watching, because fuck who knows what this is on this